Welcome to the Laura and Benny Show. I'll have to apologise in advance for this episode. We've got two suppliers in with us. We've got one returning.
Yes.
Paudie, the proper DJ.
Yeah.
I'm going to call you that. Paudie, what will we call you? What will official? Go on.
Benny pronouncing my name wrong all the time.
Did he pronounce your name wrong,
It must
Samantha?
be an East Coast thing because
Maybe, because it's...
Jeez, you don't know what I'd be calling you.
Okay. Yeah. But anyway, don't talk too much now. And then Finbarr, front mark from Arklight. So before we start, I have something to say.
This will be good.
Before we get into
Hang
it.
on, before you start, like you promised me you'd have photographs of all the lads. We even like got on to Finbarr and said, what weddings?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, to be honest with you though, I have other things to do in my life, so I just didn't get to it.
Wow.
I might Photoshop one in after.
Fair enough.
Alright, I'll get my skills out and try to get it into the video.
But anyway, okay, so we've got band and DJ.
Absolutely.
This man here refers to himself as a proper DJ. And he does feel that wedding band DJs don't live up to the status of
we're
proper
going there.
DJ.
Straight
and
out
I
the
just
gate.
said, we go straight in there. We just go straight in there. This is why I have you back. Did I not tell you that part?
Controversial.
Controversial.
There's going to be lads with pitchforks. It's happened before. It's probably going to happen.
No, after you came out with that statement, like get a proper DJ, like did you get a bit of a rude now?
Did you get any stick?
I think few people. I think secretly most of them agree with me, but from a sales point of view, they just won't admit it. So
They just want the extra bob.
Yeah, huh?
They just want the extra bob.
No. Look, if I was worried about them, I wouldn't be out for them.
I mean, when you're proper, you're proper. You can't be worried about the charlatans.
No, look, it is what it is.
So, Finbarr, how do you feel about him calling you a charlatan?
Well, anyway, no, there is a distinction. Like, I mean, the band is the main thing for us.
Definitely.
You know, so and we.
The band is the main thing, is it?
It is.
The band is the main thing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know,
yeah.
so like,
yeah.
do you know?
You could say you're proper musicians as opposed to.
You're putting words into my mouth.
I'm just. That's what he
I'm
said.
just being PC here. Because as soon as this hits online, I'm gonna get loads of DJs patting me on the back, and I'm gonna get a load of lads looking at me when I'm pulling up in a van.
No, I'll leave them off the hook. No, the band is the main thing for us, and the DJs just some couples they just want to have the whole thing in and be done with that, you know. But if you want something elaborate.
Elaborate.
I suppose we should probably explain people. I mean, people are probably watching this going, what are they talking about?
Exactly.
Like, if they're new to the wedding scene, if they're looking to book a DJ, so the standard.
Oh, we're actually going to give information. Okay.
Lots of tips before we totally rip into each other. But like, if people are looking, like they're looking at music, they book bands, and it tends to be something the bands offer.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a DJ, you can have our DJ as well. We offer
Exactly,
a full package. If they're out there searching, or alternatively, they have a specific kind of DJ they have in mind, and they might not actually go searching for a specific DJ.
Like all jokes aside, and there is always a bit of banter with the bands. I don't really get too much into it. You know, I'm happy out doing what I do, and I'm busy out. And you know, if people like what I do, they'll book me. And whether the band that is on before me offer the DJ, or in some cases not, well, I'm there because the couple want me there. And if the couple want to get a band's DJ, you know, they do their homework. Like I always tell couples when I'm talking to them, you know, there's loads of things out there. Like we could go over and say there's videographers that do photo. You know what I mean? And so there's a market like for everybody in it. And I always just say couples do their research. Like when someone comes and they look at what Paudie Walsh does, they'll go on my Instagram and they'll see my videos and they'll follow through hopefully, or they might hate it, they might follow through to the website and they'll see videos maybe from a wedding that I've played in the venue they're getting married in. They'll read reviews from couples that have had me in the past at their wedding, and they do their research and they see all of that, and when they're making the decision they know it's fully informed that that's what they're going for. On the flip side of it, if they go and they want to go with the band's DJ, and absolutely it's a far easier, it is an easier option from an admin point of view, in terms of you know, you're dealing with Finbarr.
And that's how kind of, and that's where some couples look
and
at
that's
it.
what they do, and they make their own decision based on it.
Yeah, and that's the conversation we'd have with the couples as well, is that, look, this is what we offer, but you don't have to go with us as a DJ, do you know? And even like we were chatting recently at a wedding where I have a list of DJs that I recommend, and Paudie's on that list
I was
as well.
going to say, is he on it? Like?
Yeah, well, he's somewhere down
At the
there.
end. Yeah.
I'm in the cover.
It's like, and Paudie Walsh.
I'm purely on the music side of it, I suppose. I remember last time we were talking about, you kind of like, you like to show up early and you like to listen to everything that's working and not working, kind of judge the crowd. But if you're in the band and you're playing all the songs and you're keeping an eye on the dance floor, you probably get a sense for what type
You
of
do.
crowd
You
it is.
can't. You get an idea of like we get an idea earlier in the band set. I was like, okay, I know what kind of direction we're going to go with this. Do you know? But it's purely down to the couple. Like as you say, if they just want, look, we just want to get it all done. Do you know? And then that's that. But
I will just add in as well, like, you know, I not all, like, I've said this to a few DJs and they don't like me for it, but booking a separate DJ for your wedding doesn't mean you're going to have a better night, because there's a few DJs I know, and if they turned up to a wedding, I'd say, God, I really wish the band were doing it, you know? So it's not that.
What type of label
He
would you
actually
like
can't
to
help
be
himself. He can't help himself.
No, that is it. No, but it's true though. It is.
I love your
because I think what happens.
well, you're right. You're on it. You're being
what
honest about it.
happens
Yeah,
is, like,
exactly.
Like there is that whole band VDJ thing. For me, I'm friends with.
Which is why
Finbarr.
you're both here today.
Yeah.
I'm friends with all the lads. You know, I don't.
Yeah, we all cross paths.
We all cross paths. I don't consider what they do, like, you know, in essence, competition.
Yeah.
Because we're all friends, we all do what we do, and I don't want to say that if you have, like, every band DJ is bad. I don't want to. I could show you photographs of crap setups, but that should come back on that individual band, not.
He has them at home in an archive, ready to go.
If anyone would like to see a laptop
On January of 2018.
a laptop sitting on a baby's changing table,
that didn't happen. That didn't happen.
A lot of bands hire external DJs. I work not that often.
Yes.
Not that often. A couple of times a year, a band will ring me up and say, "Look, we sold the package. We don't do it ourselves. We're from Dublin. We're coming down to Clarny for a wedding. Look, it doesn't make sense for us to bring a guy from Dublin because we can't travel together. He's going to be on his own.
Yeah.
It financially, it doesn't make sense. Do you want to do it? Or, you know, and that
I suppose like you're saying, like, so if you're a solo DJ, he's pure DJ. Basically, if you're hiring him, he can be good or bad depending on. And likewise, a band. Some bands could be brilliant at DJing, and then other bands could be hit or miss.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It's not a broad stroke, and I don't want to.
Can I just put it out there though, before this goes too negative, that like the majority of the time, both band and DJ are brilliant.
I know, we're just winding up everybody, because like there was a bit of fun a few years ago
there was.
before the pandemic.
There was.
I suppose for a bit of information for anybody watching as well is that when you are booking a band or a DJ, whether it's the band and the DJ doing it or a band and a separate DJ, is go with someone that's experienced.
Yes.
Because it's nothing against DJs that are doing nightclubs and all the rest of their bands doing pubs. A wedding environment is a completely different environment.
We often say that. I mean, when you see a band, when you see it's a pub band and they come in and the lads go, they're great, but they just don't have the knack that a wedding band has or a wedding supplier has when they know how to deal with it.
Or recognising what songs will work for a dance floor, what work for a pub. Like, I mean, you could be singing along to a song in a pub with a pint in your hand, it's great, but if you can't dance to it on a dance floor for a wedding, it's just...
You do your research.
You
that's
do. That's
everything.
it.
And that's,
Exactly.
So every supplier.
How can they do the research? So who are you going to get onto? Who
It's simple, Benny. Just book us Arklight for the band, put Paudie for the DJ, and that's it.
But what about that? Because I know that we've had you on before, Paudie, and we chatted loads about like who you are and stuff with Finbarr. You've never been here before.
Yeah, it's a lovely house though.
But do you want to tell us a bit about...
Sorry, it's the studio.
Bedroom.
God. But Arklight though, the band. So you're a singer.
I'm the singer of the band.
How many are in the band?
There's 5 of us in the band. Tony and I are partners in the band. Tony's the keyboard player in the band. So I'm here today, but Tony is an equal member. And so we...
And you like playing the drums as well. Stop hitting the table, will you?
Sorry.
You do.
This is again testing Benny's audio skills.
Amateurs, Paudie.
Sorry.
Amateurs.
Okay. Just so...
No.
Yeah, so there's 5 of us in the band, And so I sing and play guitar, and we have a guitar player that plays multiple instruments. He plays banjo, mandolin, slide guitar. Give him anything, he'll make songs out of it. And
Even tables.
drummer. Yeah. And so we have a drummer, and then we have Tony. Then he's on keyboards and lights and sound and everything like that as well. So.
And I know you lads, I know I've talked to you about like audio editing and stuff. You have a great engineering background. Like.
Yeah, we both. Tony has a recording studio, and so he's recorded. He's recorded everyone from Christy Moore to Dolores Riordan and all that, and. He became very good friends with Mark Lanigan, who passed away earlier this year. Okay. So he moved to Ireland about 2 years ago, and a mutual friend of theirs put Tony in touch with him, and they just became the best of mates, and they recorded. And Tony, he did a song with him that featured on Manic Street Preacher's recent album, and he got a credit on that and things like that. So when Mark passed away, kind of hit him hard, and. No, I never got to meet him, but he's a lovely guy. But I'm going off topic a little bit. But so I work in doing one-man shows and bands and things over the years as well. But I work as a sound engineer as well and lighting engineer. So anything kind of connected with music. So
you would say
nice quick setup then,
yeah. Proper background, and you could say you're proper musicians.
Yeah, well, kind of, yeah.
Not gonna let it go.
You're allowing that. Okay, you're allowing that. Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry, I interrupted you.
I had a dig at Paudie and he gave me the thumbs up.
I have seen the lads play, and in terms of setups they can. As setups go, it's class. They've loads of things
Thanks,
going
buddy.
on.
Did you notice, like
sound and lights? It's all DMX'd, and it's all.
Did this huge setup though in the background? You still doing that?
With the screen and all that, yeah, we do, yeah. Well, the idea of the band and when we put it together, Tony and I said, like, we were in different kind of wedding bands over the years, and we wanted to put a band together that would appeal to, we didn't want to have just a stock. Okay, this is what we play and we do this forevermore. Mm-hmm. So we like the fact that like we could play for a really country wedding tonight, and it's all your waltzes and your quick steps and all that kind of stuff. But like even happened this weekend where we played for a wedding, it was like nobody was there. It was over 26 kind of thing, So it was like a pub gig on like.
So they brought you in to average the age out.
We weren't there actually either, to be fair.
I didn't need it that old.
27, okay?
Forever.
And a half.
Yeah.
But brilliant. So, I'm just like lads, in terms of coverage, like you cover the whole of Ireland, or is there kind of limits to?
Well, we try. Like for us, we try. If you were to draw a line from Galway to Dublin, we kind of stick to that kind. But
lower half. Yeah.
Pretty much, kind of in and around say 3 hours, 3.5 hours. But it doesn't always work that way. Like if we have a couple that really wants it, like we did a wedding in Dundalk there a few weeks ago,
cool.
and it's like, okay, look, they want to book us. We'll take that. That kind of way.
Brilliant,
So,
brilliant.
but
But it's always worth checking in because you might just be able to make it work.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and we do like casting the net a little bit because it's nice, playing in different hotels or castles and things.
Yeah, you don't want to go to the same venue. No. 1 year.
No.
I don't mind. 3.5 hours now would be an overnight stay for me.
Because you're just a little precious.
I'm 2 hours after them. It'll be if the lads.
But you've slept at 6 o'clock that evening, so
maybe so. Yeah. No, I'm in Limerick, so I'm living down there. If I can do an hour to an hour and a half, would be as far on a regular basis. Now, as Finbarr said, there are exceptions to the rule.
Yeah.
This is the month of April. I was in Donegal up in Harvey's Point.
Yeah.
That's a 3.5 hour spin.
Okay.
I was in Dundalk earlier this year, up in County Louth, in Ballymcscanlon, I think was the venue up there in Dundalk.
Oh yeah,
so I will do it. It just sometimes it works out that you can do a Friday in one place, stay over, and you shorten the journey. As in, I was in the Clonard Court in a tie one night, stayed over, spent the day in IKEA because I needed to pick up some bits, and then went on to Navan and did a wedding in life.
These 20-odd-year-olds.
So it does, but yeah, I think as well, like it's like you the travel wears in you.
Yes, definitely.
And I know with the motorways and stuff, it's made it a lot easier. But
a lot easier to fall asleep, to be honest.
Well, if you get down, I think, if you are, people bring bands from, or DJs from all over the country, and I've gone up and they've come down, and, I think, look around local as well. Look at the Cork bands, look at the Limerick bands.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
In the general southwest, and say, okay, what's in here? And if there's something you really want, they will travel. Speaking for myself, I do like to keep it within an hour to an hour and a half of home. Just that if I finish at 2 o'clock, you're on the road for 2:30, you're home for 4.
Yeah.
4 o'clock for me is like, anytime before 4 is the ideal time to get back.
Yeah.
Okay.
If it pushes on past that and you have a wedding the next night, it kind of it can start to, it can take its effects, so.
We'll get into setups and times and that kind of whole thing, but at the same time, while we're talking about where you cover, what's the bookings, like what's the lead time for like bands and DJs? So like photographers, we'd always say 18, 24 months. This was pre-pandemic. But so like 2023, are you kind of maxed out? 2024, are you starting to see it come in?
Yeah, 2024 is kind of coming in now, for us anyway. And but there's still plenty of availability for 23.
www.arklight.
Yeah, with a K, ARK.
Say within the 12-month window, so like I suppose 2023 is still longer than 12 months, but like is there still a chance you might just randomly be available on a Friday, Saturday, Thursday?
Oh yeah.
It depends on the month. So the way I work, I don't open the diary until 12 months before the year.
Right.
So I opened the 23 diary basically at the start of January this year, 2022. So there are 2024 inquiries coming in. I just don't open the diary to them until basically January next year.
So you just ignore their email?
No, I go back to them and tell them.
Move to
bin. I tell them it's not open until January 2023. If you want to wait, you're welcome to wait. If not, you want to get it sorted.
Do you find people wait?
Best of luck. Absolutely.
Yeah, because they've decided they want you kind of thing.
And I would say the majority don't, or some will maybe say, oh, I can't wait that long, I need to get this sorted. And then they forget about it and then they come back to you,
Okay.
So there are people that will email back and say, thanks, look, we really want to get this sorted. And then they will come back and come back to me.
Yeah.
On a funny note, some people will say, well, the band do the DJ, so we've then booked for that.
Yeah.
And we'll see what way you're fixed, and either or we'll either get yourself if you're available, or we always have a plan B. Exactly, I like it that way. I think the way weddings are gone, at least for me, is there's an awful lot of admin and bits and pieces of actually playing the wedding, and January's a quiet time. There's nothing happening in January.
It's the booking
month. It's the booking month, so I can focus on the bookings at that time.
And get your calendar right.
Exactly. Yeah. And like I'll worry about 2022 and 2023 in those years.
Yeah.
And in terms of 18 months like the 2024s, I can worry about them in January and get them sorted out.
Right. So do you find January 20 every year, then you just get that email saying they want to cancel the DJ side of the booking?
Yeah. We did inquire about Paudie Walsh, but he's not taking bookings into But on the flip side to that, like
what colour do you wear, Finbarr?
Red tie.
Whatever's nearest to the door. Red tie. Yeah. So we're uniform,
Right, okay.
And he's sponsored by Coca-Cola.
I was in a band the other night. I was in a band the other night, and they also have the red braces. No, the red braces.
Oh yeah.
I was like, wow. I bet people are out there thinking like, dressed like the band, is it? Are we going to go next week and see him in like a white suit?
Yeah. Just go yellow, you'll be safe.
Can you imagine opening the back of the car and be like, and today's colour?
But if someone really wants Arklight, like 2 years out, you probably have a good chance to get them, but like once you get like say around 18 to 12 months, are you then kind of, it's potluck whether you're free or
it's
for bands?
Again, like Paudie said, it depends on the month.
Yes.
And it's like even prime months, you could have the majority of the month booked out,
Yes.
but there could be a random Friday or a random
Yes.
Saturday, and you see inquiries come in, it's every date but that date, so
You always get asked for the same date.
you do,
sometimes,
yeah.
don't you?
There's
And as soon as you book that date, you'll get an inquiry within a week.
Always.
Absolutely, and it's definitely
Always.
closer to home.
There's a sticky date sitting there,
Yeah.
like Finbarr said, a random Friday or Saturday in June, July or August.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you'll book it today, say Sunday,
Yeah.
and Wednesday you get an inquiry.
You will,
Yeah.
that's just
Yeah.
the way it was, yeah.
It's I don't know, is it Murphy's Law they call it?
I
or
find the same
whatever?
happens
It
though. I
just-
don't know. I think it's
yeah.
just it's the popular dates though. It's the bank holiday weekends usually. That's the date. That
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
like
yeah,
you just
yeah.
keep coming in. kind of
Exactly,
thing.
yeah.
And just so people know, because again, like if people are kind of looking for tips or trying to understand the whole wedding situation, it's you normally put a deposit up front and then it's kind of
Yeah.
settled closer to time or on the time.
On the night. We
Yeah.
typically do it on the night because
Either or, yeah. It's
Yeah.
a booking fee to book in, get all that boring admin stuff
Yeah,
done
exactly.
and out the way, and then
And that's kind of a promise for your date, basically. Got the booking fee.
booking fee, contract,
Yeah.
service agreement, confirmation, receipts, all of that's done.
all
And
that's
then,
in done.
For me and you, I touch base with them a couple of times up to the date, and then about a month beforehand, I have a little form with loads of questions on it. And they fill that in for me, and we do a quick phone call then about 3 weeks from the date, and I say, good luck, enjoy your 2 weeks now on the run up to the date, and I'll see you on the night.
Yeah.
And then in terms of the payment, either on the night or in advance.
Yeah.
So a lot of couples still coming home from Australia, Dubai, America. Some of them want to settle up before they travel.
Yes,
They want to
yeah,
bring
yeah,
it through,
yeah.
They don't want to be just bringing
Yeah.
money home or transferring it into their own account to them. So some of them will fix up and get all of that done beforehand. I don't get too worried about it. I've never done a wedding where I haven't been paid.
Yeah,
And
same
I
as.
it'll be there on the.
The dodgy days are kind of gone, aren't they? The bouncy checks
Exactly, yeah.
I think if I was worried about not getting paid at a wedding, I wouldn't do the wedding. I'd be just like, I have a bad feeling about cheating.
Exactly.
Most
Hasn't
people are
happened
very
yet.
nice,
Yeah,
they're very
yeah.
honest. And
Yeah,
most of the time
yeah.
they are ringing you up saying, do you want dinner? Do you,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Like,
Oh, well, hello, Puss.
Oh my god.
hiya, Buzz.
We get the Buzz out of here. Don't mind him.
Sorry, it's like every Zoom call we do with every couple. The cat comes in towards the end and says, "Hello, I am their cat."
I need to be fed now.
I need to be fed. Exactly. Yeah. That's it, yeah. But I suppose and speaking about timelines, because I know because every supplier is the same, and like couples everyone gets really, really excited for
Yes,
the wedding.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
completely understand that. I got really excited for my wedding. But it's
And you
kind
should,
of
like,
you
it-
should
Yeah,
exactly.
and that's the thing.
You
You're
should.
building up to
Yeah.
In some cases, years.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, especially recently, it's been years.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
For a bride, they're dreaming of it for. In some people's, it's
Oh, yeah.
since they're a child. You
Oh,
know
yeah.
what I mean, and
Yeah.
everything. So.
But I think when people are kind of like they get excited, and it could be 6 months out, and they're
Yeah.
kind of getting on saying, "Can we have the final meeting, or can we talk to you about the first dance, or can we talk to you about a set list?" Like, is it like because I know for us, like to talk to someone 6 months before the wedding,
Yeah.
they're not going to have all the details I need. So
Yeah.
it's an obvious answer. No, we need to do it closer.
Yeah,
But for
yeah.
you guys, if someone's like really really excited and they want to get it done early, would you kind of push them more towards the date, or
like the way we kind of do, it's like once the booking fee is paid, after that, then I'll send confirmation, but I'll also put a link on our website where we have a list of first dance songs that
Okay.
we would have played.
Okay.
And I'll say, look, close to the date, maybe about 6 weeks out, we'll discuss your first dance song.
Yeah.
But if you want to have a look at our list, it's kind of just to give them an idea of a song and just
because
get
some
the ball.
people can't think of their own first
No,
dance song.
they can't.
It's like the amount of people we talk to, and they gotta go, "Oh, I've no idea what we're gonna do."
Yeah, even last night's
yeah.
wedding, it was the day before they decided.
Okay.
Do you know, that kind of a way?
Okay.
And it's fine if it's a song we know. Do you know,
Yes.
there's no problem. And if it's a song we don't know, once we have a bit of time, we'll do our best to try and learn that
Will you
song.
actually learn it
Oh
for
yeah,
them? Yeah,
always.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Because we
okay.
like that. It's interesting for us.
Yeah,
Do you know?
that's true.
Do you know? And
Do you ever
it's-
get really obscure? Like,
Oh God, yeah,
yeah.
and it's
Well-
like bring it on, do you know, like because it's not because it might be a song that like we'll never get to play that again,
Yeah.
but it's nice to do some. Now we do say to couples like if we feel that if we the logistics, like say if we're very busy around that time
Yeah.
and we can't get the band together or we just can't, and if we feel the last thing I want to do is do a bad job of the song. So I will be upfront and say, look, we haven't time to get together and do a good job of this. But look, you can still have the song. We can play it as an MP3 if you want, or pick another song, or we can meet up and chat, whatever you want to do.
Okay.
So it's just like you were saying earlier, it's just trying to give a personal touch, because you don't want to take the excitement away from them.
No.
Do you know?
And that's what I'm saying. Everyone should be excited.
Exactly.
And if you're thinking, I'm the only one that's getting ahead of myself, you're definitely not the only one getting ahead of yourself.
No.
Most of it for me is the questions that, and we all ask the same questions, we all want the same information. They won't have the answers.
No.
Because for me, I trained them, as I said, the month before, they'll have met the couple, or they'll have met the wedding coordinator.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's kind of like, well, how many people are you having? Your RSVPs are going to be back 6 months out from the date.
That's
You
it.
know,
Yeah.
that'll then kind of dictate to the hotel, okay, they have 250 people. Oh, we need to ring the bell at 5 o'clock here so that they're finished.
Well, that's it. You need to know what bell call is and
It's
service
just-
time.
It's just to get it. I won't be there, you know. But it's just in my head, getting the meal time, getting the numbers.
Yeah.
What time is the first dance being hoped for? Just to kind of lay out in my head. Well, okay, that means okay, I'm going to leave at this time to get there at this time, and you know, and from working in the same venues all the time, you can kind of say that's realistic, that's unrealistic. And, you know, so a lot of those questions won't come. So I'll meet anyone 6 months before the date,
Absolutely,
but I just don't know what we're going to talk about.
Well, exactly. No, that's it.
If someone can tell me what we're going to talk about, then, you know, 'cause I don't know.
I was going to say, and the fact that you're talking about music, so like, is there a point where, like, so someone has a really musical taste, or say they're really kind of like, I want these 50 songs. Is there a point at which someone overreaches where it actually impacts the kind of service that you?
Yeah, absolutely. Like we, apart from the first dance. Like also what we have on the website is it's like a list of songs. It's just a sample of some of the stuff that we may cover at your wedding. So if they want, you know, and if they check out our videos online, they are all live. So that the audio they're hearing, if they haven't seen the band, they know that whatever videos they're watching is that it's us performing at that night. You know, but when it comes to picking out songs, we don't really allow that at all. You know, for the band set, because we actually don't work to a set list, so we kind of it's more
I
like
love when I hear that.
because for us to keep it interesting as well, you know, and it's like the one thing I hate is looking down and saying, oh, they were at a wedding a few weeks ago, and I don't want them knowing what we're going to play next.
15 songs.
Exactly.
Well, you better
know?
read the room as
Yeah,
well.
and
The
there's
set
certain
list might work for Friday's wedding, but
Exactly.
it may not work for Saturday's wedding. And again, like
Exactly.
you said, like it could be age group in the room.
Exactly,
Because there's
yeah.
some days where, as you said, there's no one over 30. It feels like there's no one over 30 in the room, and the other days it feels like there's no one under 30
Exactly,
in the room.
yeah. And as much information you could get from the couple, they might say, look, our crowd are going to be big into waltzes and quick steps and all the rest of it. And you turn up there and it's like you play a set of waltzes and no one's on the floor.
Yeah.
So you know, you have to trust your supplier, you know, to get the best.
Yeah.
You know, I feel the more that we're left do our thing, the better night you're going to have.
Yeah.
Just trust us, you know.
Yeah.
As I said earlier, pick suppliers that have done this before.
At least once.
At least once.
Exactly, and then go from there.
I suppose even with the bands, it's more of a person is less likely to come up to a band and go, I want you to play these 20 songs.
Yeah.
But to a DJ, it's probably
well, like a band will have a set list. Not a set list in terms of, you know, we do
This order, yeah.
But like a band knows a finite number of songs.
yeah.
They don't.
Yeah.
You know, they can't just decide we're going to play this song we've never. They might give it a go.
Yeah.
Or, you know,
They may not know the lyrics, but sure, listen, we'll get the beat.
I was at a wedding lately, and someone asked for Joe Dolan, and the band hadn't a clue. But in fairness, they bait out the chorus of Good Looking Woman. Just the chorus. And you know, I said, fair play.
Yeah.
They gave it a shot.
It showed, you know, it was really good. For me, yeah. No, look, I encourage it to send on lists or Spotify playlists or on the form.
And then you just plug in the phone and you hit play on the Spotify playlist, and that's the night done.
Stop at the end then, yeah.
Perfect.
Proper.
It's the stop part, the complicated part. Yeah.
I think it's nice to get a gauge from the couple.
Yeah.
It's nice to make it a little bit personal if I can.
Okay.
If they're into something really obscure, or like last night's wedding, they go skiing every year, and they sent me on a couple of songs from Après Ski, which is like the bit after, you know, the pub that they all go to the lodges.
Oh, right, okay.
And it's all these like, you know, Euro dancey kind of bass hunter, cascade, you know what I mean? And some of them I would play, some of them were in different languages, I'd never heard of them, but that was really specific to that couple, and
Okay.
I just looked at them beforehand and put a little set together and, did something kind of, for 10 or 15 minutes of the night, and that was personal to them. So I wouldn't do that next week, you know what I mean? So it can be a bit, sometimes you'll get hundreds of songs.
Okay.
Like 500-600 songs in a Spotify playlist.
Wow.
Now that is a bit, that's nothing wrong with
That's a long set.
Would that be the couple selection, or is it just they like that
Yeah,
set list
some
and it
couples,
just has endless?
some couples what they'll do is they'll start a Spotify playlist 2 years ago, and then they'll just send you they'll say, I like that song, oh yeah, that's good, and they'll say, look, pick away from it. No, you get most of the night out of 600 songs, picking and choosing. What I like to see,
I know, yeah.
what I like to see is, I don't mind how many songs someone sends on, because I do ask them to do it, and I ask them to answer all these questions about what their favourite songs are and loads of different things. What I like to see is a well-rounded set. So what I don't want to see is someone coming to me with 20 or 30 songs, but they're all the same.
Yeah.
As in they're all
Same beat, same rhythm.
They're all hard house. They're all
Yeah,
rap. They're all rock.
Yeah.
Because while I will do them, I can't. Whereas if someone comes with 2 or 3 from the 80s, a few 90s dance tracks, 1 or 2 chart songs, a couple of Elvis-y kind of 50s, 60s rock and roll kind of stuff. Well, at least you can say, right, well, I'm going to do a broad range of stuff, and I'll work them in along the way.
Yeah.
It can't be 2 hours of 80s, even though the 80s are great, it can't be 2 hours of chart, because you want to play for the older people. It's not that late at night where they're going to be gone in the first half. So it's nice to have a well-rounded set. I don't mind how many songs once it's a cross range of stuff.
Yeah.
We've seen 2 extremes. So where they were like kind of like, they wanted the band to be, they were totally into like rock metal, like really hardcore,
heavy metal,
and
like,
that was their kind of their interest, I suppose, our taste. And then the other was these guys, we're going to DJ ourselves, and it's like we're into hard dance. But the thing was, they came from the UK, and they were genuinely 10 or 15 in the crowd were into hard dance, and they ripped up the
House
dance floor
music,
type thing.
yeah.
Which is brilliant to see, but don't book a band with a fiddle and an anvil. You know what I mean? And vice versa. If you're from Gwynevilla or Scartaglen, and I do loads of weddings from that North Kerry, West Limerick area, don't book a rock band, because you might love it and it'll be great for you, but you really just have to
The whole family.
cater for your aunts and uncles. You do.
Yeah.
You need a bit of everything.
Yeah,
But there are tribute act bands out there that
true.
I've worked with that are very niche in certain decades, certain styles.
Well, some of the bands only played the one decade. That's their thing.
And I've done it, and it's brilliant, and it goes down really well.
Yeah.
But you just have to know your crowd and kind of say what will make it a good night. Is it an 80s tribute band?
Yeah.
Is it a KLE band? Is it no band?
So we're back to this. There's so many.
Finbarr, just leave.
I think so. I'm double parked.
That brings me on to 2 questions. So last time you said someone might have 2 bands. Like we're kind of doing all different things. 2 bands. I've never seen like from say the night time. We've seen random bands throughout the day.
Yeah.
But say from like 10 o'clock to 2 a.m.
Yeah.
How does that work? Have you ever seen it? And then
I wouldn't have done it, but have you ever done it?
What needs, if someone wants to have 2 bands, do they need 2 stages so the setup is quick? Or
Not necessarily. They're like we've had it doesn't happen that often with us now, but we have one coming up
It's
actually.
about to be.
2 bands, no DJ.
No DJ.
We have one coming up, all right, where the couple they wanted us to be the band, but they wanted more kind of like an Irish kind of. They had a lot of people coming from the States, so they wanted to give a kind of a traditional kind of a vibe. So they brought in friends of mine actually. They like someone on banjo, fiddle, and
Real trad band
bowron,
kind of
that
thing.
kind of thing. So they just wanted that kind of a Mumford and Sons kind of a vibe afterwards, and they just wanted to do something different. But it doesn't happen that often.
No,
you
wouldn't see it. You wouldn't see it. Like obviously, I wouldn't see it because I wouldn't be there in that circumstance. I do see photographs. Again, it comes down to like I'll give you an example. Actually, a friend of mine got married. This has gone back a couple of years ago, and they had a rock band, right? They were really into the rock stuff. So he was in a band and he was into it. So he got friends of his to come in for the first hour or two and do the waltzes, the jive, the siege, all that kind of stuff, you know, to keep everybody happy. And then they used the second band's gear, you know, PA and all that. So there was only one, in to answer your question.
The setup.
There was only one.
You switch over,
There was only one setup, and they just kind of stepped in or that.
Yeah.
And then the rock band came on for the second half of the night, so everybody was happy. The other venues I've seen it in, they're big venues. Where
you could throw them either in the room or
exactly,
just
like I saw the Great Southern lately. The Great Southern's a good big venue. First band set up on the ground in front of the stage. Second band set up on the stage, or maybe
and they just open the curtains, kind of thing. Okay.
Open and close, and one band can slip away while the other is playing, and it's so it's doable. It's not.
It's all communication between the acts, you know, that kind of way. So
I would imagine it's a pricey way of doing it, though.
it is,
Depends how proper your DJ is.
Wow.
And then the alternative is, so if someone, I suppose, when does it kind of, or when you find like it works and when it doesn't work, if someone says, I want a DJ from 10 o'clock to 2 a.m., what type of crowds does it work or not work for, or it's...
Like the first half of the set that I do, and I'm only speaking for myself now. I can't, you know, I won't cross over in general terms, but in my own terms, the first half of the night for me is what a band would do.
Right.
So I've seen all these bands, I've seen Finbarrs, I've seen tons of them, and I kind of pick the best of them and say, you know, like it is waltzes, jives.
Well, you get to see what works and what doesn't work.
Exactly. And I'm picking. I said, that's actually a good song. So the first half of the night, the first hour and a half, 2 hours, is dedicated to the older, you know, people.
Yeah, true.
You know, the classics, the party stuff.
Before they go to bed.
Well, some of them are the last to leave.
That's true.
Depends on the crowd. And then the second half of the night would be what I would do if I was on after a band.
Okay.
So there's not necessarily, you know, one specific crowd that it works for or doesn't work for. As I said, it just depends on what the couples want.
Yeah.
Some people aren't into it. They're not into live music. I love live music personally. I love going to see bands and stuff like that, and concerts and everything. Like I have 2 or 3 of them this week, and even in venues that you would be band venues. It's just that the couples just don't want a band. In some cases, space does become an issue. Like, you know, if you want to put
if you're a smaller venue,
10-piece, 12-piece band in a window. There are logistics as well. Now, in fairness, people can size up and size down, so it can be worked on, again, with communication and kind of, if the band haven't played in this venue before, you just need to kind of know that actually you're setting up on a staircase or something. You know, but sometimes it does. A lot of couples coming from abroad would be maybe, say, groom is French, bride is from Cork, and they want someone who's going to play for both sides of the family, and they want French traditional songs. That's just coming to mind because I did book a wedding this week with that exact scenario. So that is a real example. But it works. If you have a good band, you'll have a great night. If you're a good DJ, you'll equally have it.
That's it. But it's a really good point. It's a very good point on the venues though as well, because recently, because of what happened over the last couple of years, a lot of the whole going to showcases, seeing bands and seeing DJs perform, it was kind of a case if you were back to someone's recommended because they went to a wedding 3 years ago and they saw Arklight and they were great. But it's kind of a case of it was great because you suited that wedding's crowd, suited that, and as well as that, I've had people come up to me recently going, I'm like, who's your band again? They say, I'm like, oh yeah, they're really, really good. And they go, are they? Because I've never seen them. I've never even heard them play.
We got
the bride and groom on the day kind of thing. And I go, no, we've seen loads of them. They're really good. But then it's kind of a case of and then they say, I saw them in, and they'll say something like the Great Southern, huge venue. I'm in a country house somewhere, and I'm thinking, bloody hell, that setup is huge, kind of thing. But it is something, and then obviously you guys would scale down.
Absolutely,
if you were. So it's not a case of don't book Arklight because I don't think they'll fit in the back of the banqueting room. Or as you said, like you've had to set up on steps, on a staircase, in a corner, using chairs. You'll make it work if you really want them in there.
We've done weddings, the full band to 25 people.
Yeah.
Do you know? And it's just it's as I say, it's always down to the crowd.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If you can kind of read the crowd and get the best out of them,
Yes.
and like out of those 25 people, we had 15, 20 of them on the floor all night long, and it just felt like. It felt like a regular 200 people wedding. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's
they really worked with you and they kind of enjoyed the night.
They did,
But I suppose if there are 25 people, they're not really going to respond. They're not going to if 5 of them aren't going to dance by themselves, no matter what's going on.
Exactly.
They probably don't need a band.
Yeah.
Do you know? So
Exactly.
it's knowing your crowd a little bit.
Look, it's every couple is different in what they want, you know, and like I always try to find out like what are your guest numbers, you know. It's nice to know and just find out, you know, the age group as much as you can as well. So you have a bit of an insight when you're going in, but like you never know. Like the first couple of songs will tell me, okay, we're going this direction for the next 20 minutes, and then okay, I need to change it this way or whatever it is. So and it's
You feel the groans.
There's a vibe though when it goes the wrong way.
I'd be like, the groans. This 2 minutes that are left in this song cannot come quick enough.
Yeah.
Because
Exactly.
I know where I need to go and I need to get there.
Exactly.
You know, you just feel the.
But some of the best bands though, they'll start a song and we'd see it and they'd get 20-30 seconds in and you see people kind of going, nah, not really, and
Oh,
they
you
start
have to
walking
switch
away and they literally flip it within
You
like the
gotta-
first verse and then people actually genuinely turn on their heels and go back on.
Exactly,
That's a
yeah.
brilliant band.
And that's why
that's how, you know, it's like even
together every night when you meet a band that are the same 5
Exactly.
guys, whatever,
and that's
makeup
and that's the
is.
thing. Like we don't bring in depths and things like that because like as I say, we kind of work from a kind of a back catalogue and we're always adding to that. So at the drop of a hat, I can say we're going to do this, and everyone is in straight away because you know they're and.
That's good though, isn't it?
It is, and it's great for us then as well because, like, you know, we could play for a wedding tonight, and suddenly we might have to play these 3 or 4 songs, and we mightn't have done them in 3 months.
Right.
Do you know? It's like, but it's great. It's like, oh, that works, and we can, and it's like it's nice to revisit that, revisit that
Muscle memory
song.
almost.
It is, yeah. Do you know? So, and we kind of deliberately do that and keep in touch with as much songs because you don't want a year going by and you haven't played that song. It's like, what key do we do it in again? Do you know? Do you know? So,
Get in line, Tony.
Tony's in line.
Tony's in line. But actually, a lot of people were chatting recently, and like the more because you know everything kind of changed for a while.
Yeah.
And now it's like I
Why, what
keep
happened?
telling people that I'm not mentioning it, but people keep asking us when we're talking to them, what is it like now? Because they haven't been to a wedding since pre what happened.
Yeah.
And they're kind of like they're even things like, you know, when you're coming out of the church, you do the receiving line and everyone will shake your hand. And but are people doing that? And are they actually all right with like shaking your hand and giving you a hug? And you're kind of going 100%.
They
Like they're
never
almost
stopped.
licking each other's
They never
faces at this
stopped.
point.
Yeah.
And then another thing we're getting from people when we're chatting to them about the end of the night, like, are you doing it for a stance? And do you know, like, are you going to give us 20 seconds on your own? Or are you going to give us the full 3 minutes? We need to know these things. And they'd be asking us, and they'd be kind of saying, we got this band, we're really excited about it. And how are you finding the dance floors? Are people actually dancing now? Are they all right with interacting? Like, are they using the bar? Are they using the dance floor? And I kind of going, oh Jesus, you've no idea what's coming. But just to put people at ease from this year on, like from what we're seeing, it's like it never happened.
It never
What have
happened.
you seen in the last 10 weeks?
Since March, like it's kind of gone back to normal as such. Like I
Same
know,
as,
you know, it's now going in. In fairness, like the weddings that did happen during COVID that were allowed to happen, you know, with the different restrictions and the early finish and all of that. Like they were normal. They were, you know what I mean.
When you were there, they were grand.
So you were finishing at 12 o'clock. Everything was pulled back a little bit, but it was fine.
Yeah.
But in the last 10 weeks, weddings have, in essence, gone back to the way they were.
Absolutely,
You know, there's still some little, you know, I think that people have improved in some ways, as in, you know, hotels or different places have had like 2 years of maybe nothing,
Right.
and they've maybe gone back, and some people have built on. I'm going into these places.
Yeah.
I know,
Huge extensions.
You know, and it's painted, it's fresh.
It's like that episode of Faulty Towers. Where is door?
Things and new menus and you know, from my point of view, at the end of the night, you still have the lads kind of falling up towards you and requesting songs and
That's
around
never-
the head and jumping around the place, and you know, all of that. That's come back. That's gone back full circle. But I wouldn't say if I didn't know what happened in the last 2 years and I walked into a wedding next weekend, I would say nothing happened.
No. Yeah. Same old.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Yeah.
in terms of setups, then I suppose, like realistically, I suppose everything. So some people have some expectation of what time they can actually have something.
Oh, we get all the time.
Yeah.
So to let you know, the band's 8:30.
Yeah.
Bell calls 5:30. 250 people going. Band's 8:30. You'll be gone by 9, guys. Lovely. We'll see.
Yeah, good luck with that.
If we start, I suppose different venues probably do it differently, but like what's cut-off time in terms of if we are kind of like giving people the window? What's stop music?
Again, it's like with the couples, we try to tell them, I try to tell them is that, you know, don't stress about all that. Like, we'll be there from 8 o'clock on, and we'll make ourselves known to you that we're there.
Right.
You know, and typically where we work it from then is that once we have access to the stage area and we bring our equipment to the room, we're set up in under 40 minutes.
Right.
Do you know? And what I try
You're coming up twice now with us soon, so I'm going to have to stop on this.
Time it.
You'll be an hour late. Get some sunset picture in the garden.
Yeah. What'll happen now? We'll be set up and Laura's like, I need to go to the car, I need another SIM card.
Like, Finbarr, you can't start at 11:30. We've been asked to do a sparkler shot. It's July. We need to do a sparkler shot.
But what I do say to couples is that, you know, for them to take in the day, because like the amount of times you get, like, it went so fast, do you know?
Yeah.
So like I'd always say to them, don't worry, we're there, we're setting up, and don't panic that we're going to be set up in kind of the 40 minutes or less kind of thing. And take that opportunity, just get out of the room.
Okay.
Just go, you know, upstairs, just sit down, whatever it is. So when you come back in, it's like, you know, you're taking it all in again, you know, and we'll be ready to go. It is. It's just for them to get, you know, because, you know, if they get up from the table and we do the first dance, we go, and before you know it, the night is over. Just when they can get out, even to walk out in the garden and come back in, it's like, okay, I'm taking all this in again. Do you know, that kind of way? Exactly.
And for the guests as well, like if let's say you're go with your 5:30 scenario, if you can be finished the meal for 8:30, right? That would be ideal.
That joint speeches are normally done 6:30, and then 2 hour service is 8:30. So it's 8:30 now. Service is done.
Give the guests half hour, 40 minutes to go out and get a bit of a break.
Cool.
Yeah.
If it's a nice day and there's a garden or there's a smoking area or whatever it is, go and get a bit of fresh air. Get out of the room. You've been in there for 3 hours.
Yeah.
You're going to have had 4, 5, 6 course meal, whatever it is. You want to digest that a small bit. I've been to functions where or weddings where I've been a guest.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there and the band or whoever is above and they're like, come on, so we get you up for the first dance. I'm like, I really know how it feels. I know how it feels. So give them a chance. Like my ideal scenario for an evening timeline, and I don't know whether this is the same for you, Finbarr, it's different. I'd like a meal over at 8:30, a first dance at 9:30.
Yes.
2.5 hours with the band, 2 hours 15 of playing, 15-minute break, DJ at 12 o'clock, finish at 2.
Exactly.
That's your full value for money. That's your full 2.5 hours of a band. It's a full 2 hours of a DJ set. I arrive at kind of 8:30, 8 o'clock, an hour before the first dance, so I'll set up with the lads. So I'm there, ready to go, and then whatever way the times go.
Yeah.
But if you could get going for 9:30, 9:45 maybe. And you're going, you know what I mean.
Yeah, and you don't want the couple stressing out, you know, when they're sitting down. Yeah, like you mightn't like me for this now, but
do it anyway.
But what I do say to couples, like, say if they have booked us for the band and DJ, it's like, you know, you might get like, what time do you expect to start? You know, what time should we be up off the table and all the rest of it? It's like, just don't worry about that, because if it runs an extra half an hour, don't worry, you're going to get the full length of the band, and we'll eat into the DJ set so that you're still getting the same experience, you know, that kind of way.
Yeah.
No, sorry, but just.
And the flip side of that is when I go in and the band are there and they're like, oh, they've their own DJ. Right, how quick can we get set up here to get started?
But on Paudie's side as well, like just like, because we've done a wedding with him recently where he'll arrive with us. Do you know, and he'll set up as well.
He's very annoying the way he hangs out, isn't he? He's just like
lingering.
You're trying to have like dinner, he's sitting across from you.
but it's just like
Eating your chips.
but like he's ready to go when we're finished as well. So like at no point, like you don't want any couple stressing over times, we were too long here, we're too long there. Just, don't worry, like when it'll find its place,
Exactly.
And if the day runs away, and sometimes it happens, and it could be anything because you've had serious travel between the ceremony venue and the reception venue. Things just, the ceremony doesn't start on, like recently we had an actual like organ in a church go on fire just before she was about to walk up the aisle. So I'm outside, there's half one instead of one, and then you get a big drive into the day runs on. But like if it happens, it happens. Let it happen. You guys will sort it for them. It won't feel different.
And like, because some couples might come like, but you want to be started by this time. It's like, don't worry about that. Like we're not charging by the hour or anything like, like if we're started at 9 o'clock or we start at 10 o'clock, don't worry. You'll get the same amount of time, It's just, we have to hang around a little bit longer.
In general, like in venues. Like if you're getting married in a venue that's doing 2-3 weddings a week. 30 weeks a year. So
and especially if you're staying put, you're not moving.
It's
going to flow.
They'll have the staff. They know how it runs.
Yeah.
They did it yesterday, if it's a Saturday. They might
exactly.
do it tomorrow, if it's a Thursday. So it'll run. You don't have, like they'll get the meal served. They'll have the people in place.
And they'll keep the time. They'll be your time clock. Do you know? Because they have meals to put out and everything else. So they want you sitting down on a certain time.
And this is why when you're talking to the venues beforehand and they say to you, how long are your speeches?
Yes.
There's a reason
I was going to say
they're
about the speeches.
asking you these questions. It's not for themselves. It's for you. They want to give you each part of your day, like the full experience of it. So, and when like a lot of guests, we talk to them 1 year speech time, and they say, "So, well, we wanted to do it between each course, and the venue wouldn't let us."
Yes.
And you're kind of going, "There's a reason," because they will 100% be much longer if they're broken up between courses.
Exactly, and you must think if you have 250 people to feed as well, the hotel.
Well, the food has to be good.
Exactly, Do you know?
But so when somebody kind of comes back to you and if you make a request and they kind of say no to your request, it's because they know from experience that just doesn't work.
Exactly.
Now, if you push, grand, you've been warned. But it's kind of people, the venue looking out for you, you're looking out for them, we're looking out for them.
Exactly,
We're all trying to make them have the best day they can have.
We don't want to be walking away from somebody's wedding kind of like, gee, we did a bad job there or anything like that. Do you know, because, and that's kind of comes back with our set as well, is like what we play. It's like, if you're given, we did it once where a couple, they were kind of insistent on what they wanted us to play. And I knew looking at it, it's like, okay, that's nice, but it mightn't work on the night. And like we were about 15 minutes in, and I had to say to the bride, I said, look, you got to leave us. Look, this is not working, And so from that point on, we don't do that anymore. So it's just trusting your suppliers.
But it's a reflection on you as well, because the people in the room don't know that you've been asked to do this.
No.
So the rest of the room, they're kind of like, geez, the band have no one on
exactly.
the dance floor.
Do you know?
And I wouldn't recommend them.
Death metal for
Exactly.
You do. No, you totally do.
Yeah, because if it's personal to the couple, throw in 2 or 3.
But like if there's 200 or 300 guests at that wedding, there are 200 or 300 people walking away. Oh, the band weren't good. Do you know what I mean? Do you know? And you just can't. And that's why we just don't do the depth thing, and we try to keep a standard every time when we turn up. Kind of way.
And a lot of people were chatting to them about, for the first dance. So I know you guys do it. I know you do it before the first dance starts. It's announced to the room. The whole room knows it's about to start. And it's so, because I say this because it doesn't happen every time, and that's just the honest truth.
Yes.
Every band has their own way of doing things, but for it to work, like you guys letting the whole room know that this is about to happen, because this is another iconic moment for that couple in the day. It's some people, it's like when you talk to them beforehand, they talk to you about walking up the aisle. That's what I'm nervous about, but I'm looking forward to it. And the first dance. It's something else that's on my mind. Either I can't wait to get it done, or I can't wait to get out there. It's either one kind of thing. But it's kind of a case of announcing it, letting the whole room know, getting all the guests around that dance floor.
Exactly.
And a lot of people say to me, I hope people will dance now. I hope everyone will get on the dance floor. But like from experience, from what we've seen, because we've seen all sorts, like when that circle is around the dance floor, and when the whole room knows it's happening, when that halfway through the first dance or that second song kicks in, don't worry. All they have to do is take a step forward, and you're there.
And just as you say that, I think 2 couples I've come across that were really looking forward to the first dance. They worked out a dance routine and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But the majority, they don't want to be on display. Do you know? I wouldn't like it myself.
No.
Do you know? So I always say to them, it's like a verse in a chorus. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Do you know? And 9 times out of 10, we'll know the photographers. Like if you're working with yourself, and they'll give us a wink or a nod. I got what I need for this.
Go first.
Okay, then we'll bring on the bridal party, and then you get your photographs then. And don't think you're going to be there for the rest of the song. Then I'll bring on either we'll cut the song short, or we'll bring everybody on and keep the momentum going.
But they have to be there to get them on, and that's the key to it, I think. Because it's the big difference.
All I ask I'm working on my own, say, and I'm doing first dance to the end of the night. The first thing I do, or one of the things I ask the couple are, I don't ask them to dance all night. I don't expect them to. They're meeting family they haven't seen in a while. And, they've lots of other things on, but try and stay on the dance floor for the first 10 or 15 minutes.
Do you? That's amazing, because it
does help.
Give me 3 or 4 songs. I don't care what you do after that. I said after the first dance, I have to lay out my shop window.
Yeah.
And it's the most important 15 or 20 minutes. Number one, if there's photographers and videographers there, you want them to get the dancing shots to put on their DVD or the photographs after. And you just need to get an atmosphere.
Yeah.
You've gotten everybody up from sitting down for 2 or 3 hours. It's now party time. It's all about atmosphere, it's all about a bit of fun. If it tails off a little bit and you need to go and do your thing, or you've kids and you're putting them to bed, whatever the reason is that you can't stay there, give a nudge to the bridesmaids, the grooms, and say, look, just keep an eye. You see that if you see people tailing off, come back out, or it's a reflection. If it's a good night for me, if the bride and groom interact on the dance floor. It's very hard if they don't. So I just say, look, come out to the floor, give me 10 or 15 minutes, or as long as you can, to get started, and then you can step away. People will do the rest for you and kind of come and go. If you're in the smoking area for the night, it's not a concert. There's no one there to see me play. I'm there for the couple.
Don't sell yourself short now.
Paudie Walsh wristbands.
I'm so humble. But if as a wedding couple, if right after the first dance, if you head for the smoking area, or you head down to the furthest point in the room, that's where people are, because it's
they draw them. They're the magnets, aren't they?
It's the people that they're there for. You know what I mean? So that's where they are. So I always say, look, give me 10 or 15 minutes. Let's get it started. The guests will do the rest and come and go. You know what I mean? And especially for the bride and groom, the groom generally is the one that will be like, how quick can I get off this dance floor? But in fairness to them, and I've seen it where lads have told me on the phone, I hate dancing, but I'll do it for my wedding.
Yes.
And in fair play to them, they come out and they break it down on the floor, and they're dancing with people, and they're getting the photographs, and maybe some people swap parents. It's not an official father-daughter dance or mother-son dance, but they'll swap over. And it makes for a great night.
Or the one I love is that, you get, we're not dancers now at all, and we, don't be offended that we won't be on the floor. And then you get to the end of the night, and the bride comes up, and the hair is here, and the makeup is running down. It's like, I thought you weren't going to be on the floor. It was just brilliant, and that's the way you want,
But I think people think of they remember attending other weddings and how much they dance. So if you were to attend a wedding versus it's your wedding, it's not the same thing.
But they change after the first dance.
They do.
It's like, the speeches in the first dance, they have that anxiety. And as I just try to relax them, I said, don't worry, I won't put you on display for long, And once that's over, then it's like you see this wash. It's like, oh, now we can relax, and you'll see the
It's so true.
you'll see the shoes going off and the flip flops going on, and away we go.
That's
So
that's amazing.
I suppose before we finish up,
are we finished?
Nearly finished. No. Let's just unless you want to bring up.
We've addressed a lot.
But we had a fair old chat, and Paudie was kind of bragging how he just a couple of weeks before the previous podcast, he opened up a crack box. And I'm not saying that, but to be honest, the pandemic started pretty quickly.
I unleashed hell.
So was you.
Is the crack box still going?
It is.
Or is it back like you're allowed to use it again? 'Cause
Yeah,
it was barred, I say.
it wasn't. Well, like I suppose the thing about the crack box is that the props
Sounds so
don't come back.
dodgy.
They're not reused as such. They're not like
Okay.
So when you get it on the night,
Yes.
it doesn't come back to me.
Okay.
Bar the box. No, I do.
Okay.
I do need the box back. But everything that's in the box is a one use.
Okay.
But Paudie, what's in the box?
Oh,
Can't tell you.
So technically,
if I
like,
told you that.
you get it out of the box. And like, because like it
Yeah,
came out of the
yeah,
box
yeah.
last time. So
But so no, they don't come back. So well, you know.
It's like not Raiders of the Lost Ark. Call your one.
And in fairness, they are like they're
Making notes,
proper,
git box.
you
Yeah.
know.
yeah.
So that people will keep them, and I don't know what to do with them. Take them home, wear them at home. I don't know.
Bit of Paudie Walsh and everyone's home.
And a quick one, Finbarr. I know some bands they do more different packages or different parts of the day.
Yeah.
Do you just do certain parts of the day, or do you do different packages? If you
We
want two weeks of full band,
we
longer?
don't do the church anymore
Okay.
because we just find the day is too long.
Yeah,
Do you
fair
know?
enough.
But we do the drinks reception, the band and the DJ if they want. And as I say, the band is the main thing. Once we have that booked, that's the main. Like you can't book us for a DJ or you can't book us for a drinks reception.
Yeah.
The
Yes.
band is what you get. They're the added things.
Okay.
Do you know?
Okay.
So-
You know.
Yeah, that makes
so-
sense.
So
Yeah.
it's just
Do you know?
what, two-man band or two-man
Myself and
two-piece?
Tony do the piano, guitar, and vocals
Reception.
for the reception, and that's just we just have fun with that big mix.
Yeah.
It could be anything from Christian Moore to Frank Sinatra, do you know, and again, that can be just like a little gig as well.
Yeah.
Do you know? So it could start off that you're kind of we're welcomed into the room.
Yes, when they arrive to the drink reception,
exactly.
yeah,
Just make a little bit of a fuss,
Yeah.
and then we'll play some background music, but then. Because they're mingling,
Yeah.
and then maybe 15 minutes in, we might interact with them and have a bit of fun. And
Do you find though that sometimes at 4 p.m. in the day, there's like mighty crack going on in the drink
Oh,
reception?
unreal.
Jesus, there's children
Unreal.
with
Yeah,
off
yeah.
lampshades, there's grannies
Exactly,
giving
yeah, yeah.
socks.
Yeah.
It's the Prosecco. yeah.
Another A-class Prosecco. And I'm convinced Christy Moore's in it.
Well, how's the going, everybody? You're very welcome to this evening's cabaret.
It's a great invitation.
Last night last time you got this pulled off you, but you've got a little thing you've got to finish.
You
up
want
there,
me to
so-
say this?
No, you.
Benny wants me to ask you, are you still an awards whore? Like, he wants to know, are you an awards whore?
No, I'm not.
No, you've given up that.
You've given up the awards.
Given up that. It's because someone robbed your jacket, wasn't it?
I got it back.
You got it
was
back.
in Mayo.
Right, okay.
I got a photograph of it hanging off a signpost in Knock Airport. That is a true
Where
story.
did we start with that awards night though? Where was that on? It wasn't in Mayo.
No, it
What?
wasn't.
No.
It was in, where was that?
It was by Dublin, was it?
Knightsbrook?
That
in
sounds
Meath?
familiar, that's bang on.
Meath.
Yeah, I
And it
think
ended
so.
up in Mayo.
It ended up in Mayo.
And you
so-
never went for an awards night again? Cause
There hasn't been one actually. Well, one.
okay.
There was one.
yeah.
After that, they just said no.
Yeah.
Listen, once you got the stamp of a proper DJ, like that was enough for him.
I realised I was no better a DJ after winning the award. The day before, I didn't wake up with an epiphany. But no, the award. I like going to the awards just for for meeting people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we often bump into each other, and
Yeah.
obviously Finbarr and I quite regularly. But you're in work mode in some cases. You know,
Yeah.
especially maybe for me, I have a couple of hours to kill. But for yourselves, you're kind of looking at the clock. You're coming to the end of your day, and you kind of want to get certain things done. So it's nice to meet people that you can sit down with for half an hour.
Yes.
And all
Yeah,
that.
so-
And the wedding coordinators, like there's so many around the country. There's so many wedding
Yeah.
coordinators, in fairness, that will always recommend, and you speak to them by email about different things.
But you never
or-
get to meet them.
You never meet
Yeah.
them, because there's very few that are there at 9 or 10 o'clock
Yeah.
on a Saturday night.
Or even fellow DJs, because we find like fellow photographers. Like, should we never see other photographers?
Yeah.
It's all
Yeah.
videography. You guys,
Yeah,
other
exactly.
bands,
Yeah,
to actually
yeah,
see
yeah.
them. Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Big old beaching.
Session in the
I'm trying to say
corner.
it now with a censor, but
No, fine.
No, it is nice to meet up and catch up, and not enough of it happens. You know what I mean? There's definitely call for either maybe not more awards nights, but
maybe we could just all come here.
I'm telling you, Laura and Benny's wedding, the fake wedding, where
the Gap. We could just all come to the Gap.
Down to the Great Hall.
We should do a Laura and Benny's festival once a year.
Benny's festival, I like it. Okay, if you'll both play for free.
Yeah.
Good man. You lost me at the word free.
You know he does an all-day DJ, yeah?
Right, we're being catcalled at the door, so
I'm
I
going
think
to kill
we'll have
that
to,
cat. Yeah. But guys, thanks so much because I know you
Thanks
came
for
from
having us. No, honestly,
different
this is
counties.
fun.
I'll feed you now though. Do you want some food? Yes, please. Yes.
Well, I was on time, so
You were on time. And to be fair, Paudie, I was also on time.
Not you.
Oh, was
this man?
Benny,
Oh, was
Benny
oh,
was
Benny?
big.
Oh, that's right.
The jumper was on, the jumper was off.
Yeah. He was fluffing the beard just to annoy me. Just a bit more
He's wearing his
fluff.
finest knitwear.
That's it.
Beautiful, Benny. Okay, thanks so much.
Veronica.
No, I'll do. Thanks for having us. No, it was really nice. No.
Soon.